Hi everyone. It's been a while. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to tune in here. Hi guys. Hi Lauren, hi Damien. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me okay? I'm actually, I'm in my bathroom. I don't have AC in my house, so I have a big fan behind me. And just let me know if you can hear me okay, because it may be really, really loud. Hi guys. Oh, great, okay, thank you. Thank you, so glad you can hear me. Okay, all right, we have a number of people here already, and thank you so much to all of you guys that have joined. So I'm here today to talk about an obviously really incredibly important part of your skincare routine every day. The number one anti-aging product you can use, super important as the weather gets warmer and more of us are outside. I also just wanted to, before getting into that, just address the fact that I know that these are incredibly heavy times, and I know that sunscreen is not the most important thing that I could be talking about, and just say that we have been having just a lot of very, very intense conversations as a team and a community that I think are long overdue, and I just wanted to put that out there and say that I'm grateful for all of you guys and for joining those conversations with us and helping us get stronger as a result of it. So on that note, we have been getting a lot of questions about sunscreen, and I have to assume that's because people are getting outside more, and I'm super happy about that. Getting outside has been the number one thing for me right now to kind of help support my own mental health, to be completely honest, during these heavy times, and to take care of myself and my family through exercise and play, to support my community through conversations outside and also through protests. So we're all getting outside, and that's so awesome. So as a part of that, a lot of people are asking us questions about the best safe sunscreens for different purposes and the differences in ingredients and everything. And you know how much I can't walk away from questions like that. And so I'm here to answer them. And we got a lot of really great questions in advance of today, and I'm gonna get to those for sure. But I'd like to begin with kind of a basic overview of the difference between mineral and conventional sunscreens, and also just a little bit of a preview into some of my favorite sunscreens out of the ones we carry at Foleen. And we've tested hundreds of sunscreens, and we really stand by every single one that we carry. So I do believe that it's kind of best to talk about them and bucket them in terms of the different purposes they serve and what they're best for. So please jump in as you continue to have more questions. It's so nice to see so many friendly, familiar faces, and thank you again to everybody who's joined. So, okay, where do I begin? All right, so let me see here. So really, again, like sunscreen is the number one most important part of your routine from an anti-aging perspective. It's especially as we get into these warmer months and this very unique time, and we're all spending more time outside. The difference between a mineral and a conventional sunscreen is that mineral sunscreens literally form a barrier on your skin. And so I believe, and through many people, experts in the field believe, that that's actually the best sunscreen that you can use from an anti-aging perspective as well, because it's like wearing an extra layer of clothes. And so obviously sunscreen has been in the news over the past couple years in terms of how it impacts the planet as well. And so mineral physical sunscreens do biodegrade in the ocean, in the environment. So they're safe, not just for us, but also for the planet, for the coral reefs, for everything. And so I want to fixate and focus on mineral sunscreens and not on the bad stuff that's out there that does have a negative impact. We did get a few questions about what ingredients to steer clear of in conventional sunscreens, and I'll for sure answer those questions, but just wanted to say that we very firmly believe and stand by mineral physical sunscreens, not just for the safety of people and planet, but also because we believe that they truly work more effectively in terms of long-term damage from both UVA and UVB rays. And so many of you guys know this, that the whole trick with UVB, I always think of burning. So UVB rays are the ones that really burn you right away when you're at the beach. They have the most short-term impact and really aggressive impact. But UVA rays, and I remember the A, like aging, UVA rays have that long-term impact when it comes to skin damage. And so using sunscreen is incredibly important to protect from both of them. Also using products like vitamin C serums and everything to protect from free radical damage in other ways as well. So again, hopefully that was enough of a high-level overview of why sunscreen and why mineral sunscreen. Please, again, ask any specific questions if you have them. I do have a number of our sunscreens that we carry here with me because I use them personally and love them. And I wanted to just go through the different types and occasions upon which I would use them. So a lot of people have heard us talk about Josh Rosebrook's Nutrient Day Cream. So I personally am a huge fan of this. It comes in a untinted and tinted version. It has non-nano zinc oxide like all of our sunscreen options. And that zinc oxide is what's providing, it's the active ingredient that's providing the sun protection. Okay, great. Blake just said, Makeup by Blake just said that this is helpful, so I'm glad. It's good to get some sort of encouragement along the way, just to make sure that we're on track. Okay. So yeah, somebody said Nora, you just said that you wish that you had a body version of the Josh Rosebrook. Totally agree. I am a diehard fan of this. It's truly an anti-aging moisturizer in that it has tons and tons of beautiful oils that are packed with antioxidants that are nourishing your skin, like it's called Nutrient Day Cream. But it also has that SPF to protect you from the sun. So you'll see, it's actually, this is the tinted version that I'm addicted to. And it leaves less of a white cast than the white one. So it's very lightweight. It absorbs really beautifully into the skin. And it's just, to me, I feel like it's comparable to my daily moisturizer. When I'm using this, I will use this in lieu of a moisturizer, unless my skin's feeling really dry and I feel like I need another moisturizer underneath. But it's really beautiful in that way that it kind of covers all bases. Another really nice tinted option for during the day that's a little less expensive and also has some really great ingredients that are skincare ingredients like sea buckthorn, hyaluronic acid, and others is the Babo Botanicals Daily Sheer SPF 30. These are all SPF 30 except for a small handful. So this one is also, it's actually quite runny, you'll see. And it's tinted again, so you don't have that white cast. And one thing on the tints is that the tints are not meant to match your skin color and to be a foundation at all. The tints are really meant to just remedy that white cast. So the tint is better for anybody with any kind of darker skin tone or anybody that wants to not have that white cast on their skin. I almost exclusively use tinted on both my face and body for that reason, and I, as you can see, don't have, super dark skin. So, okay, yeah, some people jumping in, the tinted is really the way to go. Yeah, so I find that in the mineral space, sometimes I wonder why they're not all tinted, to be honest. And they are, the tint is a universal tint. So the Babo is really beautiful. The only difference between the two is just in terms of the grade and the sourcing and everything else like that, and of those other oils that make it more of that super nourishing anti-aging. And so I have both. I take this when I'm going on vacation, when I know I'm going to be more active and applying and reapplying more often. And I wear this one when it's just a normal work day. I know I'm going to be exposed to the sun at my desk, whether that desk is at home like it is right now or in the office. You're still exposed to the sun through, you know, occasional walks outside, also through windows. You get a lot more sunlight than you realize. So these are two go-tos for me for sure. Somebody asked if I had a rec for tinted for the body, and we actually don't have any tinted body ones right now, but I use the Babo all over my body, and at the very least on my arms. So those are two to begin with. Another category, moving on from tinted ones, would be this idea of an incredibly lightweight serum sunscreen. So Ilia's serum sunscreen is makeup. It comes in a extremely extensive shade range. I think over 10, maybe even over 15 shades to match your skin color. So this is like, if I'm going to an event, if I'm going to go see people and I want to use makeup that has SPF on top of my moisturizer, I would do my toning mist, then my moisturizer, and then I would put my Ilia on top, because the Ilia is beautiful. It has those skincare ingredients like the niacinamide, which is vitamin B. It has hyaluronic acid, really beautiful ingredients that help continue that skincare process. But it is makeup, and it's quite lightweight. So I love that for when I want to have it in my last makeup step. Oh my gosh, lots of Ilia SPF 40 tinted serum fans in here, and this product, when we got it in, we sold out of almost immediately. So I think this is going to become a cult product for clean beauty for sure. So just to show you the kind of weight and consistency, it's a very, very, very lightweight. I can never tell if you guys can see these, how well you can see it, but it's a very lightweight, much more dense color coverage when it comes to the Ilia. Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm doing a video. Can I take you out into the, sorry guys, hold on 1 second. Can I take you out into the hall for a second, please? Go, 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 go. Love you, love you, love you, love you. It's okay, it's okay. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys. It's been a while since I did one of these, so nobody's used to it anymore. All right, so that was the Ilia. It's for makeup, but it's very, very lightweight, and it has this kind of serum consistency. I should have had her say hi, but she would have gotten too excited. Anyhow, so another one with a similar consistency is the Cary Gran. It's an oil. It is a skincare product, but it has zinc in it, which is really awesome. So can you see it's very, very light and absorbs in really, really quickly. So a lot of people compare the Cary Gran to, oh good, thank you Makeup by Blake, selling everybody on the Ilia skin tint. It's a really beautiful product. Okay, so a lot of people compare the Josh Rosebrook Untinted to the Cary Gran. I would say Cary Gran is a little bit more lightweight, but still has that awesome SPF. This is 28, but I mean, let's just call it 30 to round it out. And it has all of those oils, so it's an anti-aging moisturizer with an SPF in it. So again, if you're trying to hit two birds with one stone, these are really nice options in that way. So we have so many options. Like, you know, we really can't encourage you getting SPF in enough, so lots of different methods and vehicles to do that with. All right, so moving right along, two options that I also like to bring with me if I'm on vacation and I feel like they have a really nice and unique experience, but they do have a lower SPF factor, would be the Ursa Major Daily Defense and then the Naturopathica Lavender. So I'm, as many of you know, partial to lavender. The Naturopathica has this really, really beautiful lavender scent. I just like that at the beach. Lavender, as you know, is really anti-inflammatory and calming and beautiful. And because I have to reapply so often, I like to have something like this with me. And I'm okay with the fact that it's a little bit of a lower SPF sometimes. So those are two really good options. If you're looking for more of a sport stick, the Babo Botanicals SPF 50 sport stick is great. Just swipe it on your nose. I swipe it on my hands. The hands are really where you see aging before any other body part, as many of you know. And then another fun way to get your SPF would be in an SPF lip balm, like the Hurrah lip balm, which I'm a huge, huge fan of. So I just covered a lot of options. Hopefully that was a good overview. I'm just gonna jump into the questions that we received beforehand. Unless you guys have any other questions here, and let's see here. It looks like, per usual, you guys are so awesome. You're just answering your own questions. Okay, so Jules asked, what kind of toner and moisturizer did I hold up? I actually, you can use any toner and moisturizer that you have and that you feel really great about. I was holding up the Foleen toner and the Foleen moisturizer because obviously, after spending so much time and love formulating these, I feel very excited about talking about them. I also feel like they work so well for so many different types of skin, and they're not overly scented and they're not overly heavy or anything, that I feel very comfortable recommending these when paired underneath any of the SPFs that I just mentioned. But I will say SPF should always be the last step if you're going to be spending a ton of time in direct sunlight, those UVB rays we were talking about before. So if you're using a moisturizer, don't mix it in with your SPF in your hand. That takes away from your sun protection factor. I recommend putting your moisturizer on first and then putting on your SPF right afterwards. Okay, so I'm just going to go through these questions again. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Nora. She said we did a good job with the formulations. Thank you so much. And then somebody asked if the Cary Grande makes you shinier. It does, and I actually really like that. I have really dry skin, so I think I almost overcompensate and look for things that give my skin this dewy glow. But especially in the summer, there's a lot of people that don't like that. So if you don't like that, I wouldn't go for any of the ones that are very oil dense, like these guys. You know, the benefit of this is that it's oil dense, so it's great for anti-aging. It gives you that glow. But if you want to go for something with a little bit less of a glow, I would go for something like this, or the Naturopathica we discussed, or even the untinted, sorry, these are all over the place, Ursa Major. All right, hopefully that answers the question. Yeah. Dewy glow for the win. That's for me, and it's not for everybody, and I understand. All right, now I am finally going to get into those questions. So, okay, so the first one was, do you need to wear SPF inside, and how does it help with blue light since we're all working from home? So, you know, to be completely honest, the information about blue light is incredibly mixed right now, and so I also at the same time believe that when in doubt, why wouldn't you go for it? Especially because if you're working indoors, you're probably forgetting about the fact that you're still getting sunlight from a window nearby. I really hope you have a window nearby wherever you're working. I know I'm working out of this teeny little attic room, and I still have a little window, and you're still getting UVA at the very least. You're still getting sun through that window. So I recommend, especially this time of year where you're apt to just jump outside, you're definitely getting extra sunlight through the window. And of course, maybe it helps with the blue light too. Until we have like a ton of more concrete information about blue light, I hesitate talking about it really confidently. But I will say, why not wear a little bit of SPF? Because you're definitely getting more exposure than you realize. Somebody just said, will you post in the Instagram the sunscreens you shared today? Of course, many of them are in our feed right now in a little post that we just did about sunscreens. And then somebody said, how often should you reapply? That was actually one of the questions we got in advance. It's a question we get all the time. It's really up to your activity, where you are and what you're doing. If you're out and about and active, like at the beach, or if you're sweating, or all of that, 1000% you need to reapply your sunscreen, and quite frequently. That being said, if it's just a normal work day or a normal day and you're not super active, you're not outside, I personally apply my sunscreen, again, usually the Josh Rosebrook tinted or the Babo tinted, which somebody just mentioned has sea buckthorn too, which is awesome. I'll apply these in the morning, and I'll feel comfortable just applying them once in the morning, unless of course I go on a long walk after work or something. It really does depend on lifestyle. So it's a little bit hard to speak to directly. I will say that if you don't want to ruin your makeup, or if you want a really quick fix, a great option is Ilia's powder sunscreen, which I don't have with me here, I ran out of it, but it's a really nice one to just, do a quick powder all over your face quickly before going out. And I will frequently use that as kind of my second application sunscreen, especially when I'm wearing makeup. So I hope that helps. If you have makeup on, it's tough, but Ilia is great. Okay, all right, here's the big question I mentioned. We really do want to focus on the positives of mineral sunscreen, why they're better for us, why they're better for the planet, why they're actually better for protecting your skin and for anti-aging purposes. But a couple people did ask about what ingredients to avoid in sunscreens out there, and so I do need to say that we have taken a stance at Foleen to avoid chemical sunscreens that aren't biodegradable in the environment. You can imagine that they're obviously not biodegradable, and when they're penetrating your skin. And they also, according to some research, have been linked to endocrine disruption and others. So these are chemical sunscreens like oxybenzone, which is also known as benzophenone 3, octinoxate, octocrylene, and a few others. We have these listed on our restricted substance list, which is on our website. I do, again, bringing it back to the positive, we do say to focus on products that have as high a percentage of physical mineral sunscreens like zinc or titanium dioxide, but hopefully zinc, because that's an awesome one. And it needs to have a high enough percentage of zinc to actually be effective. A number of people have come into the stores over the years and said that physical sunscreens didn't work for them. And I think that those were sunscreens that were marketed as mineral sunscreens or physical sunscreens because they had some zinc in them. But unless it has as close to possible as 20% zinc, it's not really going to be enough to protect you. Yeah, somebody said, Laura, thank you for saying sunscreen with chemicals also damages coral reefs, and that's why those ingredients I just mentioned, oxybenzone, octinoxate, and a few others, have been banned in Hawaii and other parts of the world because they're incredibly damaging. And I definitely encourage you to think about, if they're damaging to reefs and to ocean life that much, think about what they're doing to our own bodies and our families' bodies. Okay, so best SPF to use under makeup. So, I mean, I mentioned, I actually like using SPF in my makeup to the extent possible and that it makes sense. So if I'm using like full coverage makeup, which I'll do for calls like this or interviews or going to see friends, I'll almost always use SPF in my makeup, like the Ilia tint. If I'm using a SPF underneath my makeup, if I'm using a lot of makeup on top of my SPF, I'll gravitate towards one of these more lightweight, oil-based, dewier ones like these two. Okay, somebody said they did. Oh, yeah, Blake. So the percentage of the zinc really, really does matter. And you'll see most of the ones that we carry that have SPF 30, they'll have close to 20% zinc. The safest SPFs for pregnancy, anything that we carry at Foleen is going to be safe for pregnancy. It is going to be free of those chemical sunscreens. The only products at Foleen that we say that you might want to take a second thought about when it comes to pregnancy is things with acids like BHA, and you would never find that in a sunscreen because that's very irritative to your skin in the sunlight. So best SPFs for darker skin tones, and it's a great question, and it's an area where, quite frankly, we need a lot more innovation when it comes to clean beauty, and it's something that we're working on as a company right now and talking to a number of other brands that are out there that make products that are specific for darker skin tones. That being said, customers with darker skin tones right now have had good luck with the tinted options that do rub in the most easily, which is the ones that are based in the most oils, so like the Josh Rosebrook Tinted Nutrient Day Cream and the Babo one. How much should I apply for optimal protection? It's a great question. You know, there's all sorts of different rules of thumb, like a dime-sized amount, and again, like, it really does depend on which format you're using, how often you're applying it, what you're applying it underneath. But I do think that dime size amount is a good one. This is about how much I'll use, 2 pumps of something that's very oil based. And if it's something that I'm gonna need to rub in a little bit more aggressively, it's a little bit of a thicker lotion, I'll probably use a little bit more. This is the Naturopathica. I'll probably use a little bit more of that. Okay. What are some good post-sun tips? I loved this question. This person said that they get bumps and rashes after being in the sun. And I do have to say, because mineral SPFs, physical SPFs, do sit technically up on top of your skin, they will clog pores for some people. I actually in the summer use many more detoxifying products for my skin to exfoliate with acids, even manual exfoliants a lot more in the summer. You really do need to cleanse your skin thoroughly after wearing sunscreen all day. That's mineral or really any sunscreen. So I will say, you might be getting bumps from clogged pores, so I would say make sure that you thoroughly cleanse your skin and that you give it a deep clean through manual or physical exfoliation much more often than you would otherwise. I also would say for rashes, that sounds like it may be an actual heat rash, and so to that, I would say keeping some of our mists, like the Foleen toning mist is a great one, any of the Tammy Fender mists. Certainly Hydrating Accelerator, which I know a lot of you here are fans of. Keeping them in the fridge in the summer. I always have one of these in the refrigerator that I mist on my skin, and it's just such a nice thing to do for yourself in the summer. Just a really beautiful calming, cooling effect, which we can all use. And now that we're all at home, you don't need to have one of those little mini fridges with you at work or anything like that. You can just have it in your fridge downstairs or wherever your kitchen is, and just mist throughout the day. Let me just check out these questions really quickly. Oh, somebody said that they heard that you're supposed to use a shot glass full for your bodies. That would definitely make sense for your body. I probably, I was gonna say I use more than that, but that's not true. A shot glass is pretty big, right? My favorite body sunscreen that we carry at Foleen is actually the Babo Botanicals spray sunscreen. I don't have it with me here. Again, I ran out of it. But that is a really nice one, and obviously you're not going to fill it in a shot glass, but you can see it on your skin when you spray it and you need to rub it in. It's a really nice one. For your body, I also, again, I mentioned I use a lot of the tinted ones, especially on my arms, and I do use a ton of those. So let's see, somebody said I currently use Elta Md Tinted Spf. I've used this since last summer. It's a physical sunscreen with zinc and titanium. When is a combo SPF with zinc and titanium? Does the zinc? All right, I think that, Jules, your question got cut off, but if it was about zinc and titanium dioxide, if there's a combination of those two active ingredients, no, you don't need 20% zinc, because the titanium dioxide is compensating for a certain portion of the sun protection. That being said, you still need a much higher percentage of zinc than you'd think. You'll see zinc is always the more active, and I'm sure it is in that one, I'm not familiar with that one, but it's always the more active, bigger percentage than the titanium dioxide. Hi, Christina. And then Michael, loving on the Suntegrity, couldn't agree with you more. That brand and founder has such a compelling story, starting it after her mother had skin cancer, and I really do love that the light citrus scent in the Suntegrity product. I use that on my body as well. You can see it's very loved. Yeah, and Blake, thank you for mentioning that the Babo spray is awesome for kids too. I couldn't agree more. A lot of these I use for kids, for my kids. I have a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. I use the Babo spray, I use the Babo SPF 50 stick for my kids, and then I also use the Love Somebody SPF 30. This is probably the thickest out of all of the products we carry. I really, really trust the safety so much. I trust the safety of all the products we carry, of course, but this one's EcoCert certified, which you very, very, very rarely see with sunscreens. And I think that the light vanilla scent, my kids like it. It is very, very white, but completely honestly, like, I like to see the white on my kids to make sure that they're getting the protection they need. And it is what it is. All right, getting to the last questions here, unless you guys have any others. Okay. Okay, this was the last question, and oh no, 2 last questions. The second to last question was, what are the different types of products that Foleen carries with SPF? Lotion, serum, makeup powder. Hopefully I've covered all of those in enough detail for you guys at this point. But again, we do have makeup, we have powder makeup, which I don't have. We have tinted lotions, creamier lotions, everything. So a little bit of everything. I would check them all out on Foleen.com, and we're, as I mentioned, looking to bring in new brands and expand our SPF assortment, so stay tuned on that as well. And then the last question was, how do I balance skin protection with SPF while getting enough vitamin D naturally? And this is something that, again, there's a lot of conflicting information. I can't stress the importance of SPF enough, and I also can't stress in terms of protecting you from long-term harm, in terms of protecting your skin from an anti-aging perspective. I gravitate towards always wearing SPF all over my face, and then, you know, I think that, you know, my arms, certain parts of my body, if I'm outside, I'm going to be getting enough vitamin D. You don't need to get a ton of direct sunlight to be able to get enough vitamin D, is what I've heard and what I kind of abide by. But I'd love to hear if you guys have heard anything different on that front. I think when I pop outside just for a few minutes with only SPF on my face and nothing on my body during the year, I feel like I'm getting more than enough vitamin D. Yeah, okay, so we've been through a lot, and to Dita, yes, we will post this, and we're always here to answer any additional questions that you have. Oh, and then Rufina, what about very sensitive skin? What can you suggest? To be completely honest, I think your very sensitive skin is going to do well with any of the products I just covered. I would maybe steer clear of the ones that have more essential oils, like the Naturopathica, but anything that any of the others that I just went through. So the Cary Grant has some really beautiful calming, soothing oils in it. Not essential oils, but calming, anti-inflammatory oils. Same thing with the Babo. I do believe that would be really nice. And we do not have any lip colors with SPF. We do have that Hurrah, which I combine with lipstick in the summer. We used to carry an SPF lipstick, but they actually stopped making it, so we don't have that anymore. So I always wear the Hurrah with my lipstick in the summer. And then what about very sensitive skin with rosacea? Please, 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 if you have rosacea, sunscreen is even more important for you than it is for others. And again, any of the ones I just went through would be great. I think some of the ones with the more calming oils I just mentioned would be really great for you too. And Laura jumping in, her mom had success with the Babo, and I think that would be a really nice one. Either that or the Josh Rosebrook would probably be a really nice one. Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know this is an incredibly unique time for all of us as individuals and families and teams, and I am glad that we have the ability to get outside more, and I think it's one of the most important and best things that we can do for ourselves. So when getting outside, stay safe in every single respect. Wear your hat, wear your mask, wear your sunscreen underneath all of it. Drink your water, stand up for the right things in life, support each other, and I love you guys so much, and we're so grateful for this community. So thank you so much, and feel free, as West Village just said, to DM us with any additional questions. Bye.